Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be talking all things simplifying outings as a family. If you've been around for any length of time, you know that I'm a huge advocate over experiences over things, but we are going to tell you some of our favorite tips to doing activities that are cheap, frugal, and as stress-free as possible. So guys, today I thought I would share with you some of our tips for going out as a family, some things that will make it not just cheaper for you but also easier. I know that some of my Northern Hemisphere friends are off on summer break at the moment, and so you're going out and doing all the things. So I thought I'd share with you some of my tips that make it not just easier to get out the door but also cheaper once you're there. So my first tip, and every time I don't do it, it ends up going down the gurgler, is setting expectations at the beginning of the day, particularly around whether we're going to buy food out, if they're going to be able to purchase something. This just lets them know really clearly at the beginning of the day, and then if they do ask later in the day, we can gently remind them, hey, do you remember we said in the car we're not buying things today, but we are going to get an ice cream at the end of the day. Those sorts of things. I also try and be proactive at preparing the kids for things like if we're going to a theme park and it's going to be a really busy day. Guys, we might not be able to get on everything today because the lines might be long. I also like to ask them at the beginning of the day, particularly if we're going to like a museum or a theme park, what's the most important thing for you to see or do today? And that way I know if it's a show or a special exhibit or something like that, that I can prioritize those things for each child first, and then whatever we get to after that is a bonus. My second tip for you, and I know you will have heard this before, but it's to take food with you. Now, I know you've heard it many times, but it is so true, and I used to way overcomplicate things. I would take these really elaborate lunches that needed to be prepared, and as great as that is, it can kind of catch you up and cause you not to do it because one, it's complicated, two, it can be costly. So what I have done is I've really simplified the food that we take with us, and I make it all on the run friendly. So if we're going to take sandwiches or bread rolls or wraps, I will make those all ahead of time. That way, if we're walking all day, I can hand it to a kid and people can be having lunch while we're walking. If we're at a theme park, kids can take it and eat while they're in a line. Or if we've got a small space of time between two shows, I'm not having to get out a whole picnic rug and the whole shebang. I can just give them their sandwich and they can keep going. And this also just makes it so much more cost effective. You know, I can just take some chips and some fruit and some sandwiches. It doesn't have to be super fancy, but then we've got the stuff that we need when we're going. The other thing is sometimes when you're traveling, you don't have the whole lunch or the whole day snacks. I would encourage you, whatever you have, take it. I used to be a bit like all or nothing, or well, if we don't have the whole lunch, well, I won't even bother taking snacks. And now I just take whatever I have, whatever I can carry for the day, knowing that anything we bring either for a snack or for lunch is going to be way cheaper than what I would get out. And so I'm way better just bringing those small things that I can chuck a muesli bar at a kid or a small packet of chips or some fruit, and knowing that maybe we'll still have to purchase lunch out, but either way we're saving money every time you even remember something little to bring with you. My third tip is if you have a large family or if you have a family that has lots of varying ages, is invest in some walkie-talkies. I cannot tell you how many times these things have saved my behind. So how we use them is that, you know, the smaller ones who are probably going to be with us don't need one, but our big kids who are maybe even if we're at a park and they're going to go and play soccer down one end and we're going to be staying at the playground, it's so handy to be able to contact the kids, tell them that we're going to the bathroom, tell them that they need to come back or that we're having some snacks without having to yell out or run over with the little ones. It's also super handy at theme parks. We can put our kids in the big kids can go in a line. I can still talk to them if I'm waiting perhaps at a nearby small kids ride. I can tell them where I'm going to be when they get off. They can tell me where they are in the line. These things are super helpful. We got these from Amazon. I'll leave them linked down below, but they were an investment, but there have been so many times they have been so handy. Even like if you're staying at a hotel and a kid is maybe going downstairs to grab something from the lobby, like your 12-year-old is quite able to do that, but it's so handy to be able to talk to them, check where they are if something's taking a little longer than you expect, and they can talk to you. They can tell you if they've had any troubles. You know, our big kids often go and get drinks and things for us while we're setting stuff up for the little ones. And so it's really handy for them to be able to tell me, oh, hey, that shop was closed and I had to walk a couple of meters further. That way, if I go looking for them, I know exactly where they are. So my fourth tip is if you decide to eat out is look for the frugal options wherever you are. So for example, at the beginning of this year, we bought theme park tickets for a year, and because we knew we would be going for a year, we got these refillable cups. It was quite a big outlay. I think they were like $15 or $16 at the beginning, but then we can refill for $6 any day we go, and then it's unlimited refills for that day. So if we're going to be at Dreamworld all day, $6 for not just soft drink, but also nice cold water. I am a huge water snob and I have created an army of water snobs. So to be able to have access to really nice cold water that I don't have to lug like 2 liters of around all day is super handy, as well as we can alternate between soft drinks, and this makes it a really affordable treat for our kids. I can often avoid buying anything else in the park because we're going to be having a special drink. So whether it's this or it's that you're looking at the menu, you're able to buy, you know, a family-sized pizza instead of 5 small meals. You decide to buy like a big sundae that you can all share at the ice creamery instead of 5, 6, 7 single cones at $3 or $4 each. There's often a frugal way if you're looking for it. Sometimes you have to dig deeper, you have to look right through the menu, you have to explain to the kids that it might look different, but ultimately there usually is another way if you find it. So my 5th tip is to constantly be on the lookout for low-cost activities for your kids. Now, of course, the park and the beach and the splash pad, great ideas, and you should do those all the time. But if you are looking for special things to do, I am a huge advocate of passes, because whether it's science center or a museum or zoo, a theme park, there's a few reasons why I think it's so good. One is that they can double up as a birthday treat. So for example, our kids this year, we have done big days at Dreamworld where cousins and friends have met us there. We've done a special cake and all of that sort of thing, but the actual special experience for their birthday was going to that theme park for the day. Another thing is they get very familiar with the area, which makes it much easier to visit there. You know where the toilets are, you know what you can and can't take in, and you can purchase things like the cup where you can get the most use out of it. It's also super good because you don't have to fit everything into one day. You know, we have had days where we've just done show type things. We've watched all the different shows, particularly if our little ones weren't feeling up to walking the whole park, or days where we just did big thrill rides for the big kids. And so knowing that we don't have to do everything in one day is a great way to do it. I also have had great luck finding things on services like Groupon, where I've got really cheap bowling, movie tickets, museum tickets, all those sorts of odd things that maybe you've never been to before. We have like a 7D cinema down here, and I got tickets for like less than $5, which is cheaper than going to the actual cinema. And then it makes it a really fun activity, whether it be for a birthday or holidays. It's just a great way to spend your money really wisely while doing things that maybe you might not have considered doing before. So I hope this has helped you guys get inspired to get out there and have some family fun. If you're new here, we would absolutely love to have you subscribe. Here are some videos we think you might like. Please leave me a comment down below. I absolutely love hearing what you would love to do with your family. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more like it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.